The late Miocene oceans were home to a predator arms race unlike anything we see today. In one corner stood Livyatan melvillei, a whale with massive teeth in both jaws and the agility of a surface hunter. In the other corner lurked Carcharocles Megalodon, a giant shark with a devastating bone-crushing bite. When these two apex predators shared the same hunting grounds, the outcome of any encounter would depend on a single critical factor, one that most people never consider when imagining this prehistoric showdown. As it turns out, whether the shark or the whale won often came down to where they met, deep or shallow water. But before we can understand this epic confrontation, we need to separate fact from fiction about what these creatures actually were. When scientists announced Livyatan's discovery in 2010, the media created a monster that never existed. Press coverage leapt from incomplete data to dramatic headlines, a common issue with high-profile fossil finds. Three major misconceptions emerged that persist today, transforming a significant paleontological discovery into something resembling a Hollywood blockbuster creature. The size exaggerations reached absurd proportions almost immediately. Reports described Livyatan reaching lengths of 60 to 80 feet, putting it in the same category as modern blue whales. The actual fossil evidence showed Livyatan reached 13.5 to 17.5 meters, or 44 to 57 feet, certainly massive but significantly smaller than these inflated claims. The holotype skull measures about 3 meters long, and body estimates derive from comparisons to modern and fossil sperm whales, explaining why early press coverage inflated numbers from partial remains. The pod hunting narrative emerged from lazy comparisons to modern killer whales. News reports painted vivid pictures of Livyatan groups working together to bring down massive prey, coordinating attacks like oceanic wolf packs. This storyline had obvious appeal, but it suffered from one critical flaw. There was absolutely zero evidence of social behavior in the fossil record. Media outlets also promoted the idea that Livyatan dominated prehistoric seas without serious competition, ignoring the fact that Carcharocles Megalodon shared the same hunting grounds during the same time period. This oversimplification created a false narrative of oceanic supremacy that had no basis in the fossil evidence. Even the creature's name became controversial. The authors changed the genus name to Livyatan after discovering Leviathan was already used for another fossil genus. The media barely covered this correction, leaving many people confused about the proper name. The real Livyatan, stripped of media exaggeration, possessed something far more impressive than inflated size estimates. The fossil evidence revealed weapons that would redefine what paleontologists thought possible for any predatory animal. Livyatan's skull contained teeth that measured up to 36.2 centimeters in height, with several well-preserved specimens exceeding 31 centimeters in length. The largest tooth from the holotype specimen reached an incredible 14.3 inches from root to tip, immediately catching the attention of researchers worldwide and representing a significant leap beyond anything previously documented in marine predators. The numbers shattered existing records, but the real shock came when scientists realized something unprecedented about their placement. Modern sperm whales possess teeth only in their lower jaws, using them primarily to grip slippery squid in the deep ocean. Livyatan broke this evolutionary pattern completely. Scientists found massive enamel-coated teeth embedded in both the upper and lower jaw sockets, with 22 teeth in the lower jaw and 18 in the upper jaw, creating a biological weapon system that had never existed before or since in whale evolution. These discoveries established Livyatan's teeth as the largest biting teeth ever found in any animal, excluding tusks like those of elephants or walruses. To put this in perspective, a great white shark's largest teeth measure approximately 2.5 inches in length, making Livyatan's dental weapons nearly 6 times longer. The sheer scale becomes even more impressive when you consider that great whites are already considered among the most fearsome predators in modern oceans. The biomechanics of this dual-jaw system created a grip and tear mechanism unlike anything in the fossil record. Wear patterns on the teeth indicate they sheared past each other during biting, while the deep cylindrical tooth sockets enabled interlocking for a devastating hold on struggling prey. Each tooth was built like a railroad spike, thick enough to withstand enormous pressures without breaking during violent encounters. Isotopic work on a Chilean tooth suggests at least some individuals fed far to the south, indicating wider ranges or movement patterns, though data are still limited. These chemical markers showed feeding patterns across vast stretches of ocean, painting a picture of a predator that roamed enormous territories. The dual jaw placement of these massive teeth created an unprecedented biological weapon system that dominated Miocene seas. But even the most impressive weapons depend entirely on how they're used, and scientists initially made completely wrong assumptions about Livyatan's hunting behavior. Some commentators and early press compared Livyatan's niche to killer whales, but the fossil evidence does not support pod hunting. The killer whale comparison seemed logical at first glance. Both were large, intelligent marine mammals equipped with massive teeth specifically designed for taking down substantial prey. Both possessed the brain capacity for complex hunting behaviors and the physical tools necessary to process large marine animals. However, as more fossil sites were examined and biomechanical studies conducted, the pod hunting theory began to crumble under scientific scrutiny. Early researchers had made fundamental errors in their approach, extrapolating from modern sperm whale social behavior and killer whale hunting tactics without any supporting fossil evidence. They assumed that similar body plans and feeding equipment automatically meant similar social structures, a dangerous leap in paleontological reasoning. The contradictory evidence emerged from multiple fossil localities across South America and beyond. Livyatan fossils consistently appeared as isolated individuals, completely lacking the group burial patterns that characterize social marine mammals in the geological record. When dolphins, pilot whales, or other pod-hunting species die together, their remains often preserved together, creating distinctive fossil assemblages that paleontologists can identify. No such patterns existed for Livyatan anywhere in the fossil record. Biomechanical work on related macroraptorial sperm whales indicates powerful grip and shear bites suited to single prey attacks rather than prolonged cooperative grappling. Studies of species like Zygophysita provided additional evidence against pod hunting, showing jaw mechanics that indicated a predator built for delivering overwhelming force in single encounters, not the sustained grappling typical of group hunters. Livyatan's robust skull construction and extraordinarily powerful neck muscles suggested an animal that relied on overwhelming individual prey through sheer physical dominance rather than tactical coordination. Unlike killer whales that use complex teamwork to exhaust large prey over extended periods, Livyatan's dental arsenal suggested rapid, brutal attacks designed to end fights within minutes. The interlocking teeth could process prey immediately after capture, eliminating the need for cooperative feeding behaviors seen in modern toothed whales. This solitary lifestyle would prove crucial when determining the outcome of encounters with another apex predator that shared the same hunting grounds. Carcharocles Megalodon represented the perfect counterpoint to Livyatan's surface dominance, measuring 15 to 18 meters in length, roughly matching Livyatan's 13.5 to 17.5 meter range. This colossal shark shared the same hunting grounds and targeted identical prey sources. Both predators focused on medium-sized baleen whale seals and large fish that populated these ancient seas. This overlap created inevitable territorial disputes between two animals with completely different builds but similar appetites for marine dominance. When these titans encountered each other, the outcome depended entirely on a factor most people never consider: the depth of water where they met. This environmental variable would determine which predator's advantages could be fully utilized and which would find itself at a fatal disadvantage. If the shark could strike from below in deeper water ambush, and upward strikes favored it. Megalodon would position itself in the darker depths below its target, then launch upward with tremendous speed and power. This strike delivered an enormous bone-crushing bite with slicing teeth designed for cutting large prey. Livyatan would find this vertical assault extremely difficult to counter, especially when attacked from its blind spot below. In shallower, near-surface encounters, Livyatan's agility and grip and sheer teeth could swing the balance. The whale could exploit its superior maneuverability to avoid Megalodon's initial strike, then use its massive bulk to deliver crushing blows with its reinforced skull. These ramming attacks could potentially stun or disorient the shark long enough for Livyatan's grip and tear dental system to take effect. Biomechanical evidence reveals crucial structural differences between these predators. Livyatan's thick skeleton and powerful neck muscles could absorb massive impacts without sustaining critical damage. Megalodon's cartilaginous structure, while flexible and efficient for swimming, was more vulnerable to sustained physical trauma during extended confrontations. As a shark, Megalodon had to maintain water flow across gills, and sustained maneuvering differs from an air-breathing whale that can maneuver and recover at the surface. Megalodon's slicing teeth were designed for quick, decisive strikes, while Livyatan's grip and tear approach excelled in drawn-out battles where endurance mattered more than initial impact force. This created a fascinating balance where neither predator could claim universal superiority over the other. The environmental factors that determine these encounters reveal how media coverage inflated Livyatan beyond what the fossil evidence actually supported. When stripped of sensational headlines, the real story shows a more nuanced picture where depth and tactics decided many encounters between these apex predators. This prehistoric arms race demonstrates how fossil discoveries refine sensational media stories into evidence-based scientific understanding. The actual Livyatan, with its massive but precisely measured teeth and solitary hunting behavior, proves far more fascinating than any exaggerated version could be. These Miocene oceans hosted an unusually crowded guild of giant predators, a reality the fossils reveal far better than the headlines. If you enjoyed the real science behind the myth hit, subscribe to see more deep dives into prehistoric showdowns.